Right. Hello, people. This is Mr. Fatur, and today in this video we are going to talk about this topic called direct and inverse proportion. Inverse, we can call it as indirect also. Okay, this is a sec two topic. So this only thing that you need to know for this topic, right, is just the formulas for the two concepts. So we have direct proportion followed by indirect or inverse proportion. Okay. So when it comes to direct proportion, the formula is just like this: y equals to kx. Then inverse or indirect proportion is just y equals to k over x. So now, what is y and what is k and what is x? So if we look back at the formula, right, y represents the first term from the question. So these kind of questions, right, they will give you a set of word problems. All right. It's like problem sums, but you have to identify what was the first thing that they mentioned in the question. That's for y. But for x, it will be the second thing that they mentioned in the question. Okay. Then for k is a constant. So this means in this formula, the values of y and x will change, but the values of k is constant, right? Constant means what? It means the numbers will not change. All right. So for example, if I give you an example of y equals to 2x, what does it mean? It means that y is the first name, x is the second name. This 2 here is the constant. So when I say 2 is a constant, that means this 2 will never change. So I can just input y equals to 2 bracket 5. I can just put x as 5. If x equals to 5, y equals to 10. Then if x equals to 4, y equals to 8. See, my x and y value will change. But my k value, this 2 here, it will not change. Okay? And that's why k is called the constant. So constant means a number that will not change. Okay. Likewise, for the inverse proportion formula, so y equals to k over x. Same thing as well. So y is the first term, x is the second term. First term means first name, x is the second name. Okay. So now, what is the first step ever? So these are the things that you need to do as your first step. First step or whatever question that is given, right? Always find k. K can be a number or an expression. All right. Expression means it's a form of algebra. It's an algebraic term. Okay. Number means it's just a fixed value. Lah. All right. Then for step two, rewrite the formula with k value in. That step three, substitute any of the term. So any term is from the question itself. All right. So you must read the question. So for example, let's look at the first question. The question says that the cost of a table is directly proportional to the square of the radius. So in this sentence, what was the first thing they mentioned? The cost of the table, right? So this cost of the table is the first thing they mentioned. So this is why. Okay. Then this is directly proportional to the square of the radius. So what was the second thing they mentioned? The square of the radius. So means this radius square here is the second thing they mentioned. So instead of putting x, you have to put x square because they describe the condition of the second term. Okay, so y equals to x square. So which means the formula is basically okay, instead of putting y, because you know the cost, you can just write out whatever letter you want. Okay, you can just write out whatever letters you want. So basically, the cost of the table means cost, I can just put the letter C. All right, then equals to directly proportional, right? Directly proportional means k multiplied by the second term. What's the second term? The square of the radius. Radius means I can just put the letter r. So I can just put r square. So this is the formula, right? So now that is how you actually derive the formula from this question. So once you have already derived the proper correct formula, right? So what's the first step? Remember the first step, you have to find the value of k. Find k first. So how do you find k? Of course, to find k, you have to make sure you have the values for c and r. These two values must be given. Then easy to solve the equation to find k, right? So the question has already stated the table costs $500 for a radius of 25 cm. So the cost is $500 equals to k bracket the radius. What was the radius? 25. See? But is that the only thing I need to write? No, because remember r has a square. So you must put the square here. Okay? So now in this case, I'll have 500 equals to 625k. So to find k, I just take 500 over 625. Okay, so you'll get 4 over 5. So this is k in its simplest form. So now you know k already, right? So what's the second step? Step 2, rewrite the formula with k value. So now if you rewrite the formula, what was the formula that we have written down just now? This one that I've written down in black, right? So C equals to K. But remember step 2, rewrite the formula with K value in. So K is 4 over 5. All right, 4 over 5. Then what's the R? R squared. So don't need to write the values for C and R because that is just what the question wants you to write in the first place. Okay, and then now they ask you to find the cost of the table. See the question here, the cost of the table with radius of 15. So now the cost of the table, which we don't know, you put 4 over 5 bracket. What's the radius now? 15, right? Then you have to put square. Then you get 4 over 5 bracket 225. Then from there, go and cancel out. Then you get, I think, 180. There you go. Okay. So this is how you do your proportion. This exact same thing will be for direct proportion and also indirect proportion. Okay. For example, if you look at the next question again, the next question, now they are telling you that the time t seconds it takes a water heater to boil a constant mass of water is inversely proportional to the power p watts of the water heater. So you see, they said that the time is the first thing they mention, right? So this is why, right? So what's the second thing they mention? Is inversely proportional to the power. So this is the second thing they mentioned. So this is x. Okay. But did they tell you any condition of the x value like square or cube or square root or whatever? No, right? It's just basically proportional to the power only. What? So the power is derived as p. Okay. So now you know the value, the formula is t, which is time, equals to k over p. Why over? Because they said it's inversely proportional. Look back up, rewind the video, go and look back at the formula for inversely proportional. Okay. Now, first step, what's the first step again? Find k. I'm not even reading the question yet. I know my step already, right? Why? Because you follow the step. It's like eating a buffet, right? Because you don't even have to think of what to do. Just follow. All right. So first step, find k. So to find k, what do? You sub in the values of t and p, which is given from the question already. So p is 1004, p is 360. So you sub the time as 360. This is 360. Okay. Equals to k over P, which is 1,400 and 1,400. So to find K, you just bring this 1,400 over. When you bring this over, what do? You multiply because over means divide, right? You bring over, opposite of divide, you multiply. Okay. So now when you bring over, you have K equals to 360 multiplied by 1,400. Okay. Then you get 504,000. Then step 2. What was the step 2 again? Rewrite the formula but with the k value. So remember the formula is t equals to k over p. But this k, I know k value as 504,000. This is the formula right now. Okay. Now the question is asking you for find the value of t when p equals to 900. So when p is 900, so what I do is I just sub p as 900. Then I use my calculator to find out the answer. So now I have 560. You see how simple this thing is, this topic is, right? Very, very straightforward. All right. So now, how about this part? The next portion is this is one of the most common practice also. They will tell you about finding the percentage increase or whatever, right? When they didn't give you the values of x or y, because you want to find k. To find k value means x and y must have the same, must have a number, right? What if x and y have no number? Remember back from the start, if you rewind this video, I mentioned about k can either be a number or an expression. Expression. Right? So expression means it can be an algebraic term. Okay? Can be a letters only. So if you look back at this example, so they tell you that the value of A is indirectly proportional to the cube of B. Okay, so cube of B indirectly proportional means y equals to k over x, right? But the first term that they mentioned, the first thing they mentioned is A. So this is why I changed to A. Okay, so now what was the second thing they mentioned? Cube of B. So what about B must you write out? Cube of B. So must write out B cube. All right. So the formula is A equals to K over B cube. All right. So once done really, look at the question. They ask you to find the percentage increase or decrease in the value of A when B is halved. Did they tell you the values of A and B? They did not, right? So what you do is you express K in terms of A and B. So it means K can be an expression only. So how to find K? Obviously, you bring this B cube over, right? When you bring something over means you multiply. All right, something at the bottom, you bring over means you have to multiply. So you bring the B cube over, you will get K equals to AB cube. All right. Now you rewrite the formula with the K value. See step 2. I just have to sub in instead of writing K, I write out K as AB cube. You see? That's all right. Now what happened? Read the question. They tell you that the value of B is halved. Let's look at B. If the value of B is halved, what happens to B? It becomes half B, right? Or you can put it as a fraction, 0.5. So instead of writing B, I write 0.5B. Because they say what? Because they said that B is half, right? So rewriting the formula, but instead of writing B, I write 0.5B, right? So when I wrote 0.5B, remember the first one, the top numerator here, is supposed to be K. But remember, K is already AB cube. All right, K is AB cube. So I just write out the value of K, which is AB cube, over the new value of B, which is 0.5B, right? But remember, there is a cube because they gave a condition of the B value, which is from the question. See, the question say that the B value, the condition is to have a cube on it. So 0.5B cube. Make sure you put a bracket because without bracket, that means the power of 3 applies to the B, not the number. So you have to write out that once you wrote down already, then this 0.5, when you cube it, you get 0.125. And then, of course, is the B cube. So, see, I can just cancel the B, right? So when I cancel the B here, cancel the B is like algebraic simplification. So I cancel, right? I'm left with A over 0.125. Okay? When A be over 0.125, technically, right, it's like 1 divided by 0.125. Use your calculator. What is 1 divided by 0.125? You will get 8. Okay? So you will end up getting 8A. Look, the new value of A now is 8. Right? The new value of A now is 8. Remember the current value, the old original value of A is just A, right? But now when B is halved, A becomes 8A. So what was the increase? The increase is just the difference lah. Alright? So it means it increased by 7A. So what's the percentage increase then? So percentage increase means the increase over original. Increase over original times 100. Then you get 700%. How you get 700%? Cancel the 7, you can cancel the A. So you get 7 times 100. There you go. This is the percentage increase. All right. That's all for this whole entire topic. You see, this topic is actually quite easy. You just have to practice. All right. See you soon. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. Bye bye.